Hello, everyone, and welcome into the hospitality room presented by Mascot Media. Bobby Swafford, Blair Cartwright with you on a Friday. It is extremely, it is, I keep looking at my watch, October 25th, and it's 80 degrees
Crazy.
outside.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts. It's like being in Colorado in July. It's the it looks cool, but the sun's beating down and you sweat. It's crazy.
I'm with you.
So with the weather being nice, big golf tournament in Little Rock this weekend. You're going to be able to
hmm
make your way over to the Simmons Bank Challenge.
No, I don't think so. I don't know if you can hear this, but this is all I can think of. Seeing your shirt. It's all I can.
Yeah.
You're bringing me back to my high school days today, Blair. Loving
Oh
it.
man, this was a glorious time in the world.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Things are so much simpler when you can just smash a chair over someone's head.
yeah.
Yeah. No, but to
I
answer
took
your
the
question,
wife gave me a
no.
chair shot last night. So
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
things getting crazy in the Cartwright house.
No.
No, I'm not going to make it over to the tournament this weekend. Unfortunately, the senior tour. So I'm actually calling some volleyball, some
Oh.
college volleyball on ESPN Plus tonight and Sunday, and then on Saturday I'm thinking it's homecoming at my alma mater at
Hmm.
UCA. So I may go over and watch a football game in person. I hadn't seen them play in person yet this year. They are
Yeah.
ranked number 10 in the country. I probably should go check them out.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So it'll be a purple weekend for you.
It is. I got to make some money to pay the tuition. So then, and then go for fun on Saturday.
Hey, UCA distinguished alumnus. Dadgummit, I'm doing it wrong. Right
Yeah.
there. Right there. Come on.
Hopefully, in about 18 months, I'll be a distinguished two-time alumnus. But
Ooh, how about that?
yeah,
So hopefully someone at UCA is paying attention. So
right.
that
That'd be
that would be
nice.
good. That'd be very nice. All right, let's get to our headlines. World Series tickets. We've already talked about the World Series, but I just
Yeah.
was curious. This is what they're going for. This was off SeatGeek earlier this morning. 753 was the cheapest seat for tonight. Then
hmm
look, it goes to Game 3 in New York, 1,406.
Yeah.
How much would you pay for a World Series ticket?
If I would have had the money back in 2016 and the
Hmm.
Cubs were making their run, I probably would have paid all that if I would have had it. Uh,
Yeah.
just because obviously it hadn't happened in so long. But if you're a Yankees fan or a Dodgers fan, I mean, you've won some World Series at least in recent history. I think it
Hmm.
was 2009 the last time the Yankees won the World Series.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
been a little bit for them. But
Yeah.
like if you're a lifelong fan, like say if you're an Indians fan right now, I think that they maybe have the longest drought.
Yeah.
You'd probably pony up some money. But if you're a Dodgers fan, there's no way you're paying that money. You wouldn't think.
Yeah. It was just striking how, the two biggest markets, and not that 780 is cheap, but it's almost double that to go to a game at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's because of the Yankees. I mean, and you're paying for a
Yeah.
brand new stadium. You're paying for the experience. And again, I mean, it's been 15 years since they've won it. So fans are starting to get a little restless, and they're like, "Oh, we better go check it out while we can."
Yeah. It's just I truly wonder what the actual face value of a ticket
Mm-hmm.
is.
It's probably
Um,
just a couple hundred. Probably not that much, to be honest.
no, I remember
Yeah.
the Laritz game, the Braves and Yankees. That was what 93.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go to that one. The face value was 125, which seemed just insane back
Yeah.
then. But it's got to be. I don't know what the face value is. Be interesting to know.
Mm-hmm.
But Lord, plus, okay, you'd pay it, but it's a set. It's a potentially a 7 game series. So does that play into it? Where unlike football, where the playoffs, it's a one. It's that game. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you pay more for
Yeah.
football than you would baseball just because of the series?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Game 7, you would pony up for. I mean,
Yeah.
so like
Oh,
if you got a
yeah.
chance for that, that's a little different. So to me, Super Bowl tickets in Game 7 should be pretty comparable.
Okay.
You shouldn't be dropping that on game 1 through 3 because you don't have a chance of seeing a champion crowned. 4 through 7 is kind of when those ticket values should start to go up, and I'm sure that's what you saw on that graphic you just flashed up.
Yeah, and I'll flash it up again. Yeah, 1451 for game 6, and I cut it off before we saw the game 7. So
yeah, I would imagine game 7. If it gets to a game 7, that's probably going to be well over $2,200 to $2,500.
Yeah.
I would
and
guess.
That game would be in New York too, I believe.
So games 1, 2, 5, and 7 would be in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. So it'd be in LA. Okay, so it might be cheaper. So yeah, so that'd be interesting. All right, so there's our World Series ticket. It's basketball tonight. The Slobber Hog is back. Arkansas and Kansas. Everybody's losing their mind. They camped out. This was the scene moments ago. Camp Bud has been torn down. Everyone took their tents down. We have spies on the scene. It's now just a field, but
yeah,
a lot of excitement in the air.
Mm-hmm. I mean, number 1 team rolling in is always big. Kansas playing at Arkansas would be massive no matter when they played. But obviously, the first game in the Cal era, the new look roster, obviously Tyson and all the money that's coming with him. There's a lot of excitement. I mean, it's going to be crazy for Kansas to think that they had a normal offseason practice yesterday, and they're about to walk into a place with 19,000 plus with their hair on fire. It's going to be unreal that this is going to be an exhibition game, and Bud Walton Arena is going to be just on fire.
Yeah, and apparently they're going to have situational. I mean, it's not going to be
quarters.
They're going to play quarters. It's not going to be a true game. There might be some and some people are losing their mind over that. But it's like, what's the big deal? But does this signify the official end of the football season now that basketball has begun?
Certainly. And if Arkansas doesn't win tomorrow, it may signify it. The way I took it, though, with Calipari put on Twitter, is they're going to play a full game. They're just going to play quarters like the women do instead of halves, which I think men's college basketball needs to do anyway.
Yeah, and that way nobody will foul out. Everybody's hurt. I think Hunter Dickinson's not expect. Both teams are banged up. So So it'll be a good time. But speaking of football, let's get to the picks.
You storm the court tonight?
That'd be bad. That'd be bad. All right. Well, Starkville tomorrow. Yeah. The spread is 7.
Yeah.
That's not very much.
I'm really torn with Jaquindon Jackson not playing. I think you were about to say that. And Braylon Russell getting all the pub after he says, "Oh, I need a new agent," and he goes out and has 4 touches for 4 yards after he says that. I don't know what he has. He was a stud of all studs in the state of Arkansas as a junior. He got too heavy. He was sluggish as a senior. He doesn't seem to have that explosiveness to get to the outside. LSU tracked him down pretty easily on his couple outside runs last week. I'm curious about the run game. Can they create some holes for the big boy? I'm going to go Arkansas to win. I'll say they cover, but I not have zero confidence in this pick. I think this game is way too close for way too long for Arkansas fans.
Yeah, Arkansas may win. I will take the points. No one has blown Mississippi State out, and they hang around. I don't know. There's too many questions about Arkansas's offense. And granted, Mississippi State's defense is a sieve. I don't know. I kind of thought after the Tennessee win, Arkansas would probably lose this game because that's what Arkansas does. So, unfortunately, I'll stay with that. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. This is a ranked game. I am stunned. Notre Dame's 12, Navy's 24, and the midshipmen are getting 13.5.
Yeah. Honestly, this is the game that screams bet money line on Navy. Just pick them to win straight up. I don't think they need the 13.5 points. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. of the armed forces teams. I really like watching Army play. Navy's not as exciting to watch because they're true triple option. Army does it out of a lot of different formations. But yeah, give me Navy, and I almost feel like they have a really good chance of winning this one straight up.
You heard it. You heard it here. Bobby has picked Navy straight up. I'll take the points though, and I'm with you. I'll ride with Navy. You thought you were just gonna roll right into the SEC and say we're here, and y'all are gonna be our little bitches. Well, it's not working that way, is it?
Bitches.
20-point spread. Yeah.
That's wild. Oklahoma fires their offensive coordinator this week. I mean, you feel like they're in shambles. What can they do? Can they score points? I'm not sold on Ole Miss, though. I'm going to take Oklahoma. 20's a lot.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, as bad as OU is, 20's a lot.
20's a lot
in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, hottest team going right now. This is probably their biggest test to date at home against Washington, who's been up and down. Indiana is giving 6.5 to a team that played for the national championship last year.
Mm-hmm. I was bullish on Indiana until last week. And they go, not only they beat Nebraska, they beat Nebraska by 49 points. And you mentioned all the changes that Washington's had between last year and to this point. They're a 500 football team. I think they're 4-3. Indiana's got it rolling. And I think Indiana is going to be undefeated when they play Ohio State at 10-0. So I'll take Indiana to win. I think they win big.
Yeah, I will take the Hoosiers as well. I mean, their coach studied under Saban, and he is implementing it. They don't beat themselves, and it shows. So,
how long is he the coach at Indiana? Is the question.
That was going to be my next question. Is he there next year? We'll see, because you know that everybody's going to come after him. This one stuns me. Number 11 BYU 7-0, UCF at 3-4 with the quarterback change. Is a 2.5-point favorite.
I mean, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand this one at all. Like, how in the world is BYU getting points on the road? So it's obvious. Give me BYU. UCF and Gus Malzahn are in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's just free money, I guess. Ooh, two teams that just Missouri's banged up, no quarterback, no running back. Alabama, who knows what to expect. The discipline is gone. The structure is gone. The process has ended. But they're still giving 17 to the Tigers.
That's a lot. I mean, you know, we just took Oklahoma with 20 against Ole Miss. 17 feels like a lot against Alabama. So, I mean, I don't care if you're on the road or not. I mean, give me Mizzou.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll take the point. I don't know that Alabama can be 17 points better than anybody in the SEC.
No.
It's just
haven't shown it yet, at least.
No. A ranked matchup. No one saw this coming. Number 20, Illinois at number 1, Oregon, but a 21.5-point spread. Oh my.
I was really surprised Illinois didn't jump more. And I get Michigan's got some losses this year, but I mean, that was a sound beating of Michigan last week, 21-7.
Yes.
Because of the way that Bielema has his defense playing, I don't think they lose to anybody by 21 points. It's really hard for me to fathom just as good as they've been defensively this year. You know, Penn State beat them soundly and only beat them by 14. So I'm gonna take Illinois, even though again all these big numbers on the road, that spread's just too large for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll take Illinois 21.5. No, we're not seeing a lot of beatdowns this year in college football. So normally this would be a beatdown, but this is also a top 25 matchup. The Horns at Vandy. Vandy getting 18.5. Wow. Imagine losing to Georgia and Vanderbilt in the same year. Back-to-back weeks.
Back-to-back, yeah. I like Texas to win this game, but I don't think they cover. I mean, just because I think Vandy plays that style with a lot of the quarterback run, they keep it close for a little while. I mean, this team really does seem like a 14 to 17 point game. But again, if that's the scenario, Vandy covers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I take Vandy in the Big 12. You look at this matchup. If you know who, and you think, oh, we'll just show up and we'll roll. This
Mm-hmm.
is the SEC. You got to bring it against a team like Vandy, and now they're actually good. So
Quinn Ewers has got to
scary.
play well, though.
Yes, yes, and Manning's right there. This used to be a matchup people highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a matchup nobody's gonna watch. 21 points. Are you serious?
As bad as Florida State has been, you could maybe push this up to 35. The Cam Ward is going to put on a show. I mean, Miami's defense is not great, and so they're going to have to go out and score points. But I don't think Florida State can keep up. They've been such a disaster offensively all season long. So I'm actually going the other direction on these big spreads. I take Miami to cover, and it may be a lot more lopsided than the 21.
Yeah, I agree. I think Miami's going to run it up. I mean, this is not a we respect our neighbors game.
No.
There's hatred here. They're going to run it up, and this is one of the few chances they'll have to run it up.
Well, and also, it's Cam Ward in primetime. This is a 6:00 ESPN game. This could potentially be his game where go out and throws 5 touchdowns, runs for another 400 total yards on national television, and gets him that Heisman moment.
And that's just in the first half because we've seen Florida State's defense. So, yeah, that could be this probably the best game of the day. LSU at A&M. The line has dropped. Aggies giving 1. The undefeated teams in the SEC, no less.
Yeah. I mean, both of them have a questionable loss in non-con, but they're right there at the top of the SEC standings. LSU impressed me a little bit last week, but Arkansas also kind of folded the tent. They're not going to be the 100,000 people is not going to scare LSU rolling in there. I don't know who A&M is. I mean, they haven't been tested. They haven't really played anybody of significance. Because of that, I'm going to go LSU. At least they've played a little better SEC competition up to this point, not by a lot. But I think, and obviously, this is why it's the closest spread and the primetime game. It's got a chance maybe to be the best game of the weekend.
Yeah. Well, who's LSU? We don't know either.
Yeah.
I'll take the Ags for whatever reason, and then they went. Then they go downhill after this. So enjoy your moment, A&M.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Auburn, 2 slappies that'll be that are pushed over to the SEC network because they've got to have some kind of programming. Kentucky's favored. I don't even know what the over-under is.
I'm going to pick Kentucky just because I hope Hugh Freeze doesn't win a game after his asinine comments about beating Arkansas 9 out of
9. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll both take Kentucky on that one. Watch, this will be like a 7 over. It could very well be a 7 overtime game. Yeah. Nobody's going to be able to score. So interesting. All right. Let's get to the NFL picks. Pretty good matchups this weekend. Ravens at Browns. No idea. Well, Jameis Winston will be quarterback in the Browns.
Winston, yeah.
8.5 though. That's a weird number.
It is. Obviously, not having Deshaun Watson, I think, helps Cleveland. I think they're going to be a better offense. They trade Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, kind of working his way back into the rotation. But what Baltimore's got going with Derrick Henry, I mean, leads the league in rushing, on pace to break the rushing record. Cleveland's defense is going to be able to keep it close for a while, but I think Baltimore is way too good for this.
Oh, Lamar Jackson is playing phenomenal. Their defense, they're kind of turning into the old Chargers. Ravens can't stop anybody, but they can outscore anybody. You know Henry's going to break one off in the fourth quarter. Yeah, give me the Ravens.
I mean, the fact that he's got as many miles on his tread as he does, and he's still breaking off 80-yarders on a consistent basis is crazy to me.
Yeah, well, the game last week, everybody's like, well, where's Henry? Where's Henry? Yeah. They save him, bring him in the fourth quarter. He runs wild.
Bludgeon you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still think they'll emerge from the AFC. Ooh. Titans trading everybody.
Yeah.
At the Lions. 11.5. Big
It's a big,
spread.
that's a big spread. No Jamison Williams either for the Lions. He's got popped for PEDs. He's out for the next 2 games. I think that's going to slow down Detroit a little bit. It is a big spread, so I'll take the Titans to cover. I think Detroit wins it and wins it comfortably and pushes out their lead in the division after Minnesota got beat again last night. They flashed it up after the game. Teams the week after they play Detroit this year have not won a game. They beat up on you. They beat up on you physically. But I like Detroit in this.
I'll take the Lions. I think just the Titans are bad. And Mr. Snead that wanted to get paid, you got paid, and look what you're enjoying now, a beatdown. Mm-hmm. Colts Texans. The Texans have kind of fallen out of favor. They're only 5-point favorites at home against the Colts.
I don't get it either because they're playing well. Offensively now that Joe Mixon is healthy, they've got it rolling. They're 5-2. I know they dropped a heartbreaker to Green Bay last week, but I think they're way too good. As long as Anthony Richardson's at quarterback, the Colts aren't going to do anything worth a dang. He only scored 16 points last week, should have lost. So give me Houston.
Well, is that it? Is it the thought that Richardson's probably going to go down and Flacco will come in and actually make a competitive game? I don't know. Well, I'll take the Texans as well. Packers at Jaguars, and the Jaguars are getting just 4? Really?
Yeah, it seems like a low number, right?
Very low.
They've been in London for 2 weeks. Maybe some jet lag coming back. I don't get it. Give me Green Bay all over that.
Yeah, give me the Packers too. This one could be. Tua is expected to play. To what extent he'll be effective? But then again, to what extent are the Cardinals going to be effective? They're up and down.
Yeah, I don't know. With Tua being there, I get that's why they're favored. But they've looked so bad without him. I don't know that you just immediately flip the switch, and maybe they do. But again, because Arizona's been so inept, I think I'll probably lean to Miami as well. But I don't have a lot of confidence, and I think a lot of people are going to be watching this game I'm not saying this to be funny. I think that a lot of people watch this game to make sure that Tua doesn't die.
Yeah,
I don't know how many hits he can take.
Yeah, no, it's the NASCAR theory. It's the car crash. You want to watch the car crash. Mike McDonald is supposedly an offensive genius, and yet he's got all those weapons, and they could do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you would think with all his guru-ness that McDaniel would be able to figure out a way to scheme open Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Achane and some of those weapons they have, and they're pathetic.
Yeah, they're awful. So that's putting a lot on a guy that's not played in a game in a month. Mm-hmm. I'll take the Cardinals. I have a bad feeling about the. Oh yes, the circus comes to town, Mr. Swafford. The Jets and the Patriots.
Drake May is only the second quarterback in NFL history to have 5 touchdowns and 500 yards in his first 2 games. Did you know that?
That's not bad. He's quietly playing under the radar. Yeah.
Dan Marino's the only other quarterback to ever do that.
Pretty good company to be in.
Yeah, Jets by a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Patriots are bad.
Yeah, but so are the Jets.
Patriots
okay, you'll take the Jets. I'll take the Patriots. I'll take the points. What will the excuse
I can't stop
be
anybody.
Next week?
The Jaguars ran the ball 16 consecutive times.
Yeah, but the Jets can't stop anybody. Heck, the Jets can barely even score. It's just true. Yeah, this could be a comedy of errors. Falcons at Bucks, big divisional game. Bucks getting 2.5, but who are they got to throw to? Everybody's hurt.
This is the game that you automatically lean to a home team, but with Mike Evans out, Godwin out, Baker doesn't have anybody to throw it to. So I think just because of default, you got to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, and yet if there's a team that could come up with a concept of blowing it, it would be Atlanta.
Yeah.
This one's very intriguing. Eagles at Bengals. Both teams have got to have a win to keep any kind of playoff hope alive. Jalen Hurts going down, Joe Burrow going up, but neither defense can stop anybody. Who do you like?
I like Cincinnati. I mean, they started 0-3, but all of a sudden they've won 3 of the last 4. The offense seems to be clicking a little bit. Maybe they're getting healthy. And then I think Philadelphia is just a disaster. I mean, even the games that they've won. I mean, they got Saquon involved with it last week, but they still haven't looked great. I mean, the teams that they've beaten this year: Saints, Browns, Giants. I'm just not sold on them. Give me Cincy. You're welcome, Dave.
I was gonna go. Yeah, I'll stay with the Bengals. I was thinking Saquon would make a difference, but yeah, they're a one-trick pony. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
give me the Bengals. Dave, celebrate. This game will be ugly.
Yeah.
Saints, Chargers. Ugh.
Chargers should be so much better than they actually are. I mean, we saw it last week. They just couldn't finish up. There's no reason in the world they should ever lose to Arizona. I think they'll bounce back. Spencer Rattler is really not looked very good.
No, no. Yeah, he's really bad. Bills at Seahawks. Seahawks playing well, getting 3.
I don't know. I mean, Seattle is so up and down. It's frustrating to find out who they are. Defensively, they're pretty bad, and they're
Mm-hmm.
struggling to stop people. And I think another week of practice for Amari Cooper is going to make that Buffalo offense even better. So I'll take Buffalo, even though it's a long road trip. I just don't let Seattle can stop them enough.
I'll take the Seahawks. I think the home crowd makes a difference. Just a hunch. Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders getting 9.5.
It's a lot of points on a divisional game. They struggle. Of course, there's so many questions at quarterback for Las Vegas. You don't know what's going on. First game with D Hop there for Kansas City. Could be some points, but I think it's close. Kansas City hadn't blown anybody out yet this year, so I'll take the Raiders to cover.
I'm with you. Don't ever take the Chiefs to cover. Bears at Commanders.
Yeah, no Jaden Daniels. It seems like he's going to be out. They looked good without him last week, though. They've really figured out some offense. I don't know they can do it for a full game, though. I'll take the Bears. The Bears are going to kind of steal one on the road, kind of keep themselves in that mix in the NFC North.
I'll roll with Mariota. Kingsbury's cooking it up, so I think they shock the Bears. Ooh, this is going to be hideous. Panthers, Broncos. 10 is a big number for a team that can't score.
Bryce Young coming back in to start, though, for Carolina because Andy Dalton I think he broke his thumb in a car accident.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Bryce Young is quickly on his way out the door, so I'll go Denver.
Yeah, I forgot. I knew he was in a car wreck. I didn't know he wasn't going to play. Yeah, there's no way they cover the 10. Ooh, Sunday night. Jerry's team goes to see the 49ers. Both teams really need a win.
Yeah, the 49ers desperately need to win. I mean, they are not looking anything what people thought they were going to, Super Bowl contender, but Dallas is bad. Dallas has struggled. They can't score points. Defense is going to miss Micah Parsons again this week. So I'll go San Francisco. I think playing at home out on the West Coast, it's going to be kind of one of those odd kickoffs where it's going to be dark everywhere else in the country, but it's going to be daylight out in San Fran. So I'll take the 49ers.
It may be daylight in San Fran, but it's going to be dark in Dallas. Give me the 49ers.
That's right.
And Monday night, Giants at suddenly surging Steelers with Russell Wilson throwing to Mr. Pickens. Giants, no coaching change, no GM change. Yeah. So they say, wink, wink. Steelers given 6.
Yeah, Pittsburgh looked really good last week. I know we're out of time, so I'll take Pittsburgh. I think the Giants are a bad football team.
Yeah, I'm with you. Steelers looked really, really good, and the Giants are not good. So, final word, Mr. Swafford.
Enjoy the weekend.